Hi.
Thank you. Yeah, a little break from our regular broadcasts, but I think we're back. You've got some news on NIST 2, the EU's NIST 2. I've got some news on the UK forthcoming version of NIST 2, the Cybersecurity and Resilience Bill.
Yeah. So you took part in a parliamentary committee hearing, or what was the exact?
So it was an all-party parliamentary group contributing to the bill. So the bill is, surprise, surprise, behind schedule. Should have been coming out this autumn from memory, but it's going to be spring next year. There was about 30 of the group, and we were discussing the definition of the critical national infrastructure. And while most in the room were saying what we would normally expect to see as part of the critical national infrastructure, so the NHS, the energy systems, etc., and the big tech companies such as IBM, AWS, Microsoft, Google, Apple, etc., etc. We also raised the point that there's 5 million businesses in the UK that are driving the economy. The vast majority of those businesses are small businesses. That's the usual definition of a small business is up to 250 employees.
Yeah, we always forget that the vast majority are SMBs, small businesses. Yeah. We always speak about the 5 big players.
That's right.
And the media is focusing on them, and look at the 5 millions who are driving.
Exactly. And those 5 million small businesses, SME businesses, outsource their IT to similar sized IT support companies. And I was lobbying that these smaller IT support companies should also be brought into the critical national infrastructure, because a well-designed attack on these smaller IT support companies could grind the UK economy to a halt.
So can we say that this is now a paradigm shift now with AI-driven coding, agentic platforms, swarms of agents are developing code that everything must be even a million times more secure than we used to?
Yes, yeah. It's all, we're already seeing AI agents designed to produce malware.
That's for sure.
And being used that if there's you can't call it a 0-day vulnerability anymore. So for those who don't know what a 0-day vulnerability is, that is a vulnerability in one of the big tech platforms, for example. So just for argument's sake, we'll pick Microsoft, and it's a vulnerability that's been discovered and is being taken advantage of. With the advent of AI, 0-day vulnerabilities are going to be being taken advantage of even quicker, because AI is going to be scanning for them. And
yeah, it's very interesting that what you said about outsourcing, that even if these small companies can save on costs, maybe the outsourcing as we know it, it should be ended, based on what you're saying, that all these third-party services must be inside the infrastructure, the national infrastructure. That's what you are saying.
That's what I'm saying. There needs to be, so at the moment anybody could set up an IT support company. So for example, just taking an example, somebody who has spent 10, 20 years working in one of the big tech companies could leave the big tech company and set themselves up as an IT support company. And there's no regulation around that. And so let's say I've set up an IT support company. You've just set up your new business, and I persuade you to outsource your IT support to me. And I do the same with another 500 companies. So I'm doing very well, but I don't understand AI. I don't understand cybersecurity.
It's a big trouble then, yeah.
I get a ransomware attack, and your backups, your live data are all encrypted. You're out of business. And similarly, I look at it and go, right, didn't really know what I was doing, did I? Oh well, let's shut up shop. And that's a scenario that we're dealing with at the moment.
Right. Okay. And that's why, there are global regulations like NIST 2 in the EU and something similar in the UK is coming.
So there's NIST 2 in the EU. There's, as I say, the Cybersecurity and Resilience Bill. We're a bit behind NIST 2, but it will be coming. Probably, as I say, probably spring next year, which will bring regulation around the critical national infrastructure.
Yeah, I heard about a little bit that even if you are using a third-party tool or company, as you described, you will be responsible, the business owner.
Yes. So the business owner will not only be corporately responsible, he will be personally responsible.
Which is a deal.
Yeah. And which I believe is already in NIST 2 in the EU.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, which is a big deal. So not only will you be facing major fines as a company, but the directors of that company could also be facing personal responsibility.
Yeah. And it sounds scary, but there are tools how you can avoid the major problems and close out all the 99% or 97% of the risk.
Yes.
Like using SOC 2 compliant servers and so.
Yep, so SOC 2, a SOC 2 audit is usually used for major companies, large companies quoted on US stock exchanges.
It's available.
But it's available for anybody.
I just heard that yesterday that I don't want to name companies like brands, but there are a lot of Canadian, European cloud providers. If you don't want to use US tech, they are all compliant. They can cost from $5 a month for a basic app or website. So it's not a big deal. It's a massive investment to be compliant.
No, that's right. That's right. So it'd be carried out by an independent auditor who has the necessary qualifications to provide a SOC 2 audit report, such as myself.
More or less as a ballpark, how much people can expect for an audit?
Well, it obviously depends on the size.
From to like not millions, not hundreds of thousands.
No. So, for instance, a small IT support company, you're probably looking at 2 or 3 days work auditing the processes, and so you're looking at somewhere between £1,500 to £3,000.
All right, yeah, it's well below 10K, and you are fine. So you are not, in a risk anymore once you have this.
You could go down the SOC 2. More likely, you're going to go down the ISO 27001 or the NIST. So ISO 27001 is the international standard for IT security, and NIST is the American equivalent.
Yeah. And of course, your providers, third-party providers, are all compliant if you choose it wisely.
Yeah.
So you are protected multiple ways.
Exactly. Yeah.
So NIST 2 will be a game changer as well. SMB owners, please do not outsource. Use UK companies from now.
I would say to outsource rather than try and manage your own IT, but make the selection wisely of who you're outsourcing to.
Yeah, the childhood of IT, and we can speak about any sector is over. So we have to be adults now from 25 because the world changed, completely connected. It's what's happening. The transformation is incredible, and you need to be prepared.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely, and. All these, there are fair companies, precisely led and organized companies can help you out. And
absolutely.
Experts as ourselves, for example.
Yeah.
And there are others we can recommend.
Indeed. Yes. Don't just outsource to
save money.
Save money.
That's a big mistake.
Because you may save money initially. Imagine 5 years down the line, your IT support company suffers a ransomware attack, and you lose all of your data.
Yeah.
So it saved you money then, but the cost of recovery is a piece of string.
Yeah. I saw your LinkedIn post in the last 2 weeks, and there was some interesting stuff. You know, there are ways to scan the code that has been generated for you. Of course, there are some companies, they use like 75% of the code is generated. That's that will be standard, and is going up to 90% maybe.
Yeah.
But not the AI generated code is the problem. The problem is the unsupervised
Indeed.
deployment.
Indeed. So AI is now getting to the point where, trying to think, I've forgotten the phrase, but it's generating code by itself, and for in an
autonomous agent.
Autonomous, yeah. So autonomously without human input. And obviously we need to be aware that is happening, and be aware that, make sure that the code is of high quality, and that the agent is not responding in the way that it thinks you want it to. So, like a graduate or a school leaver in their first job.
Exactly.
They want to make their boss happy. An AI agent can behave in exactly the same way.
Yeah. So before actually you start doing your software with these tools, then you need to get some guardrails set up. Then you need to have your pipeline for security scanning.
Yeah. Yes.
But the main thing is that test these models, because there are some models that are advertised, like Kimi K2, for example. It's a Chinese model, and I read the article that it's very good. I don't have any bias towards Western or Chinese models, whatever, but you need to test isolated before actually switching models. The Anthropic Cloud is very secure. It's enterprise. They've got a lot of compliance built in, so you are fine with Anthropic. But even with Anthropic, you need to be careful, because the quality is going up and down.
AI advancing really quickly. It has the potential and is making our lives so much easier. There's so many fantastic examples out there where companies are using AI, especially in the tech world, in the health world. The examples are fantastic.
Yeah, diagnosis.
It is still in the mass use of AI is still in relatively early days, and as you say, the quality is still going up and down, a bit like same as any new technology when it first comes in. So we have to be aware of that.
Like the first airplanes.
Exactly.
Some of them died in the fell down.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we reduced the accidents to 0.1% or so.
Exactly. Yeah. And well, yes, exactly.
Yeah, and the other topic we wanted to touch is have you heard about these long horizon agents that can work together in swarms, like bees and ant farms, and then they can, they
feed off each other.
Yeah, they get smarter than if you just talk to ChatGPT one-on-one, you are just talking to one AI. But imagine the swarms that you have a group of experts, like scientists in a room, and then they teach you to anything, and they work together towards a goal, right?
Yes.
And what do you think as a security expert about these ant farms and bee hives?
It's like having thousands of employees. So thinking together, the power of the swarms of agents is greater than probably greater than the number of agents. But it also creates security issues.
Yeah.
And data protection issues. And I think we're in the very early days of understanding the risk and how we're going to deal with the resulting threats.
Yeah, and imagine, I just heard about this swarm of robots and, intelligent machines, like they can teach each other, they can train.
Yes.
And they are getting smarter and smarter by the minute, working together. This is not just inside your laptop that
No.
they create a report for you or a competitor analysis or
Yeah.
a list of leads or marketing campaign, but they are working at construction sites or agriculture. And what if they decide to do something else? So one of the members of the agent, let's rebel against humanity, or can it happen if these companies will set up the guardrails?
Well, exactly. It comes back to the governance, the regulation. As with all new technology, and we've discussed this before, government regulation is always way behind technology advance.
Yeah.
So it is going to come down to the technology companies themselves and the companies that are using the technology to develop the governance, the guardrails. And I guess it's whether you trust mainly big tech to be looking at this and introducing the guardrails over profit.
Yeah. That's a nice topic as well.
Yeah, and we could talk about that for a fortnight. And also the major companies that start using this technology or that are using this technology. Again, do we trust them to develop the guardrails, to develop the governance structures alongside the developing technology? And again, developing the governance structures potentially at the cost of profit.
Yeah, exactly. And we are going to be assessed, the Small Business Association, on 20th of August, right?
We are, yeah. Looking forward to that.
Have you been?
Yes, I've been to most of them. And it's an event regular event each month, organised by Nigel Davies in conjunction with the Design Districts, the Federation of Small Businesses, Ravensbourne University, Design Council, similar organisation.
Yeah. Double check that.
To develop the links between established small business and people like ourselves and creative people coming out of university.
Yeah. Cool. And let me circle back to that national infrastructure speech that we started with. Anything pretty interesting stuff you want to mention that we haven't touched yet?
Yeah. So on the UK side of it, the Cybersecurity and Resilience Bill, as I say, we were discussing the definition of critical national infrastructure. And there was some very interesting input. As I say, there was 30 or so peers from the cybersecurity industry in the room. And I think it's disappointing that the bill is probably 6 months behind where it should be, but at least it's coming.
Yeah, we have to appreciate that it's coming, even if it's late.
Yeah. So, and then NIST 2 is already in force for the EU, but companies are struggling to actually comply.
Yeah.
With it.
And it's a new mindset, right? Why, as a private business owner, what should I do with a national infrastructure? And it's my business, people think about this. Nobody should tell me how to manage my business, but it's all connected.
It's all connected. So let me give you an example. As I touched on, we're currently working with a company who had outsourced to a local small IT support company. So this IT support company was managing their live data, their backups. They obviously weren't paying sufficient attention to cybersecurity. They suffered a ransomware attack, which has wiped out the IT support company. It was an attack from a cyber criminal group, and so their insurance company said, we can't pay the ransom because we'll be breaking sanctions. Our client went to their insurance company expecting to at least get some money to help them with the recovery costs. Their insurance company said, we can't see when you disclosed that you'd outsourced your data storage. Your policy is null and void. We won't be paying. But the moral of the story is that, so we're helping the company rebuild their processes, helping them to select a new IT support company to outsource to.
So it's on a high level, rebuilding is like picking the right cloud provider, email service. So basically,
yeah. And also the the company itself. So the company is a managed security service provider. So not only do they look after your data storage, but they're also constantly monitoring for potential attacks taking place. Harry down the road, setting up his IT support company, won't be doing. But imagine a coordinated attack, taking advantage of a vulnerability powered by AI, in all smaller IT support companies who don't have the monitoring capabilities, the cybersecurity monitoring capabilities, a managed security service provider. That could take, as I said earlier, that could take out the power source of the UK economy.
Yeah, it's like the industrial revolution.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, if you look at, Marks and Spencer's lost their online business for 6-7 weeks. Imagine every SME in the country who outsourced to an SME IT support company being out of business for 5-6 weeks.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like using horses in the 90s, like if you compare with the industrial revolution, so you don't have any chance or today. If you are doing it traditional agriculture and harvesting with the tools of the 16th century.
Indeed.
It's the same now what happened the last 10 years, 15 years. So I can understand that yes, had a nice and calm way of doing business the last 15, 20 years with the IT infrastructure.
Yeah.
But now is the time to change.
Absolutely. Yes, you would think that they would be looking themselves at how to enhance their cybersecurity so that this scenario doesn't reoccur.
Yeah. So you're saying that there are big and small companies that haven't been paying attention at all to security, just a little bit, here and there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Last night, BBC's Panorama addressed this issue. They were allowed into the National Cybersecurity Centre, part of the UK's intelligence services, aligned with GCHQ and the National Crime Agency. 2025 looks as though it's going to be the worst ever year for ransomware attacks, just on the UK, not globally. The majority of these are from gangs outside of UK.
You can forget that.
Absolutely.
But can it be an internal as well, or a Western gang?
Well, it could be. It could be, but it is less likely.
Yeah.
There are cybercrime gangs that are not in Eastern Europe, not in the Russian Federation, but it is far more likely to emanate from geographical region.
Yeah, it's very geopolitical question as well. So it's not like, okay, I've got a UK only business. I have my clients in my small town and I'm untouchable. No, it's the same as it would be anywhere globally.
That's right.
You are touchable. So, and I can imagine it's horrible for people that running a business for 10, 20, 30 years to face with this.
Yes.
That I am now in a global stage.
Exactly. And that's what this program is trying to get across. And what I spend every day trying to get across is the message that nobody is too small to suffer a cyber attack. So like the company we're working with at the moment, you may not have been the target of the attack. If we go back into fairly recent history, the WannaCry attack that took out the NHS, the WannaCry, NNACRY attack that took out the NHS back in 2017 was not an attack on the NHS. It was because the NHS had said, yeah, we're still on Windows XP. It still boots up every day. It still works, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
You're not getting the security updates. And when a North Korean attack on a South Korean bank using the WannaCry malware occurred, somebody in that South Korean bank had a contact in the NHS. So the malware was emailed from that person to somebody in the NHS, and it took out and then proliferated across the NHS's platforms and took out the NHS.
Yeah, basically we are all connected globally.
Yes.
So the 7 billion people, at least 3 or 2 levels away from each other. So you are not really protected.
But yes, what I was Sorry, what I was saying was you might not be the direct target of a cyber attack. You can be collateral damage, and it's still
in the queue.
So your data is outsourced to Harry down the road, who suffers a ransomware attack, probably through no fault of your own. You may have had basic cybersecurity controls in place for your company, but because you're connected to Harry down the road IT support, your data is now encrypted.
Yeah.
And you've got to rebuild your company.
Yeah. You mentioned the updates that I hear a lot from people, that it's very annoying that you have to update your phone, your laptop, and every device. And the problem is that people still don't understand why it's necessary.
Yeah.
How it's designed on the user interface is not really beneficial, because you get this red notification. It disturbs you because you want to do your job, or you want to be entertained, but it disrupts. You need to restart your devices. You need to grant access to the updates and so on. And it's not explained well, but it's crucial.
It is absolutely crucial. Yes, your day's going to be interrupted for a few minutes, but I'm sure you'd much rather be slowed down for, a short period of time, rather than being the gateway for an attack.
Yeah.
To your company, your employer. So an example that was given in this program last night was a logistics company in Northampton. In 2023, they had 700 employees, 500 trucks distributing goods nationally, probably internationally as well, across to Europe. And because somebody was using a compromised password, the hackers picked up this password on the dark web. Look, we've got into this logistics company, KNP. And they deployed ransomware, took out all of their systems. There's now 700 people in Northampton looking for new work, because the company couldn't afford the ransom that was being asked, which was millions, and secondly, couldn't afford to rebuild the company.
That's massive. It's political.
Yeah, and I'd never heard of KNP Logistics. They're not just after global names. They're after low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a massive problem. It's like bombing down company, the same.
Yes.
But you can do it now without using any weapons or anything else.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you can cause a lot of damage.
Yes, yeah. There's a reason we very rarely see an armed bank robbery anymore. The internet is far more lucrative.
Yeah, that's what I told to my kids, that these are the mob films, like the Guy Ritchie one, Mobland.
Yes.
This world doesn't exist anymore.
No.
And even Godfather and Scarface and these kind of, you won't see these wise guys with black cars anymore.
No, that's right.
Like young people in shorts, they are the gangsters behind a laptop.
Yeah. And they're organised as companies. They're organised the same as Marks and Spencer's, for argument's sake. They've got an operations department, an HR department.
They've got lunchtime.
They have lunchtime. They have holiday. I've been privileged to see the negotiations between negotiators. So a couple of years ago, Royal Mail parcels were attacked, and I've been privileged to see the negotiations between their negotiators and the gang.
On the video?
No, this was tough.
Yeah.
But it got to one point, and I think it was middle of a Thursday afternoon, and the ransomware guy says to the negotiator, look, we've better get this settled by the close of play tomorrow, because I'm on annual leave next week.
Yeah.
It is just a job for them. They see it as their way of getting up the economic ladder.
A corporate carrier, yeah. Exactly. Anyway, just for the close, what do you think about the phone scams? Because I was building a system for customer service, and I wanted to get different European numbers. And to get a European number, you have to send your ID, passport, company, papers, everything. They manually confirm that you are what you are, and then you get a number. It takes a week But to get a US and the UK number, it's an online purchase. And is it the cause for the large scale scams?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yes. So, I mean, this could be the subject of a whole nother
Because it
episode.
annoys me a lot.
I mean, my concerns are you're sending your every piece of documentation that is
to a private phone company.
To a private phone company, and that data could be stolen and your identity's gone.
I don't know why they're doing this, because companies' houses, the national companies' houses, they know everything about the given company. So.
Yeah, so that's one concern.
Yeah,
but yeah, the fact that, as you say, that UK, US, you can just purchase a phone number
for £5. Yeah,
they're being used for scams. Again, most of a lot of the phone scams won't, although they're coming from a UK number, it's probably been bought by a company somewhere else.
Also, I know, you can connect chain numbers forward.
Exactly. So you may be getting so a lot of these phone scams are based in Asia.
Yeah, you can't block them because it's always a new number.
As soon as you block it, it'll be a new number.
And it's a message for Apple as well that the iPhone functionality is gone, so I can't pick up any ringing number anymore because the 99% is a scam.
Yeah.
So either someone has to message me that, hey, I'm going to call you from this number.
Yes.
But it's, that somebody just calls out of the blue. Doesn't work anymore.
Indeed.
They killed the industry.
Yes.
With this, allowing this large scale scam.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
so your point is that this is a whole conversation about.
Again, it's a whole conversation. So you've got, as I say, you've got the European side where you're giving away all your data. How securely are the
and you to be resident, or the company must be resident in it, unless they can't prove the scammers that they have a company there.
Yeah.
They won't get the number.
Yeah. I mean, under GDPR regulation, yes, once they've confirmed your identity, they should be getting rid of that data. But are they?
Yeah.
But then, on the UK side and the US side,
very liberal, easy.
It's so easy, and they will be getting so much income that a fiver. Okay, well, let's buy 200 UK numbers, and by the end of the day, they would have recouped their investment.
Yeah, 500,000 UK numbers.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at it from the wider aspect, if you look at the value of cybercrime globally in terms of the gross domestic product of economies, you've got the US, China, and third in the top 5, if you like, of gross domestic products is cybercrime.
Can you imagine that this will be sorted out like the Wild West in the US was a scary place in the 1800s, 200 years ago?
Yeah.
And now, it's the world's leading economy now with all the regulations and rules. So the wall is coming down. Yeah. Cybercrime will be ended or will be reduced to minimal, maybe.
I don't think it'll be ended in my working life.
But it will be going potentially.
I mean, yes. I mean, so you see occasionally several months that the US, UK, Canadian, Australian, etc., New Zealand, what do they call it? The Five Eyes intelligence community take down, and European all cooperate to take down a cybercrime site. That does have an impact, but unless we can get hold of the perpetrators themselves, they're 2 or 3 days later they're going to pop up in another organization.
That's what I'm thinking, that maybe it's going back to the Middle Ages, when, for example, China built the wall and completely closed the economy and the country. So there is isolation is the way to go for now.
I think it's too late for isolation.
Correct.
And secondly, the global economy now operates on global connection.
We have to live with that.
And we're sort of straying into economics here, but it's all
Connected.
yeah, it's all connected. So, but yeah, personally, I think it's yes, we've seen around the world various less desirable regimes don't allow their residents general internet access, but I don't think that's the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, you can be offline, but then your life is very limited. Then
Exactly, and you know, these economies, continuing the economics conversation, these economies are not well developed.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think isolation, the UK putting up a farm of firewalls to separate us from the global internet is the way to go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could be protected theoretically if you have a corner shop. Let's say you repair shoes, you can be completely offline, but your accountant will be on the cloud. So your invoices.
Shoe repairer maybe. Corner shop is likely to be connected to the companies that supply
Yeah, it's corner shop. Yeah, that was a bad example.
supply the corner shop trade.
Something very traditional trade could be off.
Yeah, I mean, although can it? I mean, I've got a client who's a builder.
Manual and physical.
Yeah. So manual and physical work. But his accounting system is still a cloud provider.
Cloud, yeah, the accounting is always, yeah.
So no, it is very difficult for any business now to be.
Maybe a coach or therapist or personal trainer could be completely offline. You just have clients face to face.
So take a personal trainer, for example. They're going to be publicizing their business on social media.
That's for sure.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
And that's a surface for attack.
And that's a surface for attack.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you are not on socials, you've got a big network in your city and you are just using
word of mouth reputation.
Yeah. That's I mean, this is how we went around the topic.
Yeah, so it's incredibly difficult these days to have an offline business.
Yeah, I saw in Hungary a factory where they hand painted the ceramics, and employees of that factory could stay offline forever because it's a brush, paint, and the plates and the glasses and the cups what you are working on all day, every day.
Looking at the bigger picture, how does the company attract customers?
Yeah, that's the business of the board or the leadership. But as an individual employee, you live in.
Yes, okay. So you don't need access to any internal systems.
No. Maybe you have a bank account for your salary, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you use an ATM once, 2 times a month for cash. Very niche areas, they are untouchable.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the risk is going to be minimized, but at the company level, they're still going to be connected to the internet and the cloud.
Yeah, they've got the paint providers, suppliers.
Yeah. So they're probably doing online ordering. So they still need to at a company level, they still need to be aware of cybersecurity and how to protect their business.